So you're welcome to the show once again, and of course today there is this movement that sprung up and started evolving, talking about why youth must get involved in active politics in Nigeria. And of course, you must be aware already of certain hashtags that began to trend recently in Nigeria, in the cyberspace of Nigeria, talking about not too young to run. And of course, that made it into becoming a bill at the National Assembly, which is set to currently still be undergoing reading. And of course, part of the not too young to run advocacy is beginning to also generate reactions from various quarters. And right now, in the house with me is a group of young persons who are saying, of course, it is time to run. Not just that young persons must be given the chance to run, but that it is now time to run. They are even saying specifically that by 2019, it is the youth next. And that is what informs the name of this movement. It's called the Youth Next. Leading this movement are some of young persons who are also active users of the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And let me introduce them quickly. To my left, you have somebody who is probably famous to some of you already, very known to you. She's female, and probably the only female in the group right now. She's Morini. Judy Morini, you're welcome.
Thank you. Point of correction, I'm not doing things. We're actually a number of females, but we're not meeting here today.
Yes, of course.
Thank you for having me.
I agree, but at this forum right now, there's no female representation. Of course, to my right, you have somebody you call AOB, Akoni Ola Balogun. Sometimes too, you can call him Dimeji Balogun. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And of course, to the extreme right is Nsikak. So we're going to be talking about what Youth Next represents, and I'm going to start from my left. Morini, we'll be talking about why Youth Next. So is this the first time you're having youth in this country? What is the Youth Next?
Youth Next is a movement that is shared towards encouraging youth to get involved in governance, in politics, in the system, the whole structure of political, rigmaroles in Nigeria. And that's actually what informed our movement and what informed most of us to take up the action and say, yes, it's high time to step on board. The future is now. Youth Next. We're the next cylinder.
Yes, Youth Next. But I'm going to ask, why do you think youth are actually interested? What's the percentage of youths and I'm directing that question now to AOB. Why do you think youth are actually interested to be involved at this time?
I think from my little research, both online and offline, I have come to realize that many youths in Nigeria are now conscious of happening around them. If we are to look at the 2015 election, we understand that the higher percentage of those that voted are youths, and many of them nowadays they felt like, okay, they have been really, really marginalized, like they have no too much say in governance. So they felt like, okay, let us come together and see what happens. If you look at other countries, like presently France is having their election coming up very soon. The two leading candidates are 39 and 48. They are still fall within the youth age range, and that's why Nigerian youth, they also want to try and see if they can come together and push in somebody that is very intelligent, viable, and agile that can lead. Because if you look around, we have many youths that have things that they can do for the country. Look at the Ooni of Ife, he's around 40 or thereabouts. If you have been following his track record before he became the Ooni, and now that he's Ooni, you know the youths are really ready for governance.
And of course, I'm going to look at, if youth are set to be ready for government, you also have to look at certain circumstances and factors too. I want to ask whether you think that if youth percentage that participated in the last political election in Nigeria, the number of eligible voters and who actually voted, do you think that something didn't motivate them to vote? And do you think the same thing can motivate them to participate? Because we learned that some of them actually voted because there were incentives around voting. Do you think youth are prepared for this leadership that you are trying to push at them?
It's a gradual step. It has to be youth. There has to be a ripple effect, a gradual effect towards this process. And in all sincerity, it's unfortunate that we've been sold this particular rhetoric of, are youth ready? No, Nigerian youth are sleeping, Nigerian youth are not ready, they are not ready to take up the position. If given the chance, if given the opportunities, I can fully tell you that youth are ready. They are very ready. But it takes time. It takes a collaborative effort of all youth together and saying, yes, let's step on board.
But of course, I'm going to ask, why you? What's special about being you?
What makes up the statistics of the population?
Yes, you can say
60% of
women.
youth.
You can say women are more too.
Well, you have women are youth. When you say youth, this is it's an all-encompassing gender word. It encompasses the male and the female. And we are ready. When we talk about the population in the country, we're looking at 60% of youth in the country. And if 60% makes up this population and we have very little representation of them in governance, then what happens? When we have people, being populated, well populated, and we don't even have representations of them in governance, how would they know what we want? How would they know what to put in place for us? I would, do you understand? These are simple things that is actually very common and, very, very simple. Like 1 + 1.
Of course, I'm going to reckon that there is historical basis for, to back up that youth so are agile, have energy, and are willing and are capable to, some of us have cited, or some literatures have cited in the time past, of examples of the military era, where you had the Gowon and the rest of them. Talking about the relevant ages, that those of them that, the heads of states, that, I actually did, toppling one government and taking over power. But of course, this time, in recent examples that have been cited so far were cited to the negative. For example, some people will say, of course, how old was Fashola when he became governor? How old was Fashola when he became governor at the first time? How old was Dimeji Bankole? Those were 8 examples, but they were not good examples enough. Would you also say that, if we give this opportunity to you, they are going to do anything differently in a civilian, government?
Left with me, I subscribe with fact to a school of thought that believe that the fact that a fruit is bad does not mean the rest are rotten. The fact that we have given some people some chances in the past and they fought it off does not mean every other people should not be given same chance or chances. So I believe there are many other youths out there. In the examples we are citing, as if you look at it very well, you will see that it's just like a percent of the entire youth that we gave this. I mean, they are giving examples of about 50%, 30, 40%. We will have seen, okay, this one is bad, this one is good, this one is good. So it was like, okay, let's just give them a tip. So those that were given a tip, they said absolute power corrupts absolute reality. So the fact that 1, 2, or 3 people were given chances and they messed it up does not mean every other people will mess it. It's an excuse for us to now, okay, close that gap. Like, okay, these people are fucked up. Whether you should not be given opportunity to serve. I am of the opinion that we have a whole lot of youth out there that are very good, that are very sincere and open-minded. And I think we should the fact that we have to give youth the chances, a higher percentage of youth, so that we will test from all of them. If this one is not performing very well, we vote some other thing. We cannot continue cycling the old politicians that started from the days of Awolowo. We cannot say, okay, some youths are doing it, other youths will look back and not join them. Every one of us must just come together and see what we can do to push this cause forward in 2019.
And I'm going to insist right now, is this concentrated at the major parties, say PDP, APC, or what are you looking at? Is it, targeting any particular political party that has, strongholds already in politics?
Well, for YouthNext does not actually target any particular political party because youths have actually been sidelined over the past years. Youths have been sidelined. So we are particular about them. Youth from all political parties, whether it's PDP, whether it's APC, whether it's COA party, or any other parties. Well, we are just concerned about youths coming out to run for political positions because we believe that the time for the youth is now. If they don't come out now, when will they ever come out?
Really, are you trying to infiltrate political parties now? Is this what this is all about? Are you trying to throw out those that are existing leaders in the party so that you can replace them? or you want to create a new structure altogether?
No. Well, basically, what we're trying to do is to see how we can work together. How there has to be an equal representation, simultaneous workforce between the elders and the youth. There should be a middle point where we say, yes, these are our decisions. The elders say, okay, this is how you should do it. This is the experience I have. Elders are bringing in the experience. Youth are bringing in the vibrancy, the energy, the intellect, the new way, the dynamism of things now. And it's supposed to be an equal level playing field where we get to a middle point and say, yes, we've been able to reach these decisions, and these decisions will help in shaping our country for good. That's simple. Unfortunately, there's been a whole lot of rock, and the elders are still, most of the party leaders are saying no, they want to allow. Unfortunately, corruption has eaten so deep that people still want the system to hold on the basis. And we're educated, we're saying no, we don't want it again.
Lastly, I'm going to direct this question to all of you, and then you must be aware right now that contesting a winning election in Nigeria is no child's play. It takes a lot of resources. So how prepared are you guys for this? How do you intend to do this? You want to be supporting individual party candidates in every political party. How do you intend to carry this message across? It's not easy. How will you win election, for example, in this demanding era? You have to win election requires billions of naira, or you have an apartment. Some cash is top there. Except the wizard now finds out.
One of the strategies we're employing is we understand the substance that the Nigerian youth and the youth are everywhere in the world. We have a substance. We have an energy. We're trying to collaborate. We're trying to harness the effort. And we understand that in power numbers, we can do much more. We can drive good things. We can actually push further. We don't have the resources at our hands, but our fingertips. We may not have the likes of billionaires at our beck and call, but we know that in numbers.
But would you need those billionaires going further?
Pardon?
Would you need those billionaires?
Of course, we have a few of them that support the dream, that also want things to change. They also believe that, yes, give people a chance. If they endorse it, they are very much welcome on board. Highly welcome on board. But with the substance we have, with the energy we have, we've been able to cite and recognize it with social media at our hands. Much more than us.
Do you agree with me, Obi? Can youths, carry this?
I believe what we need to do now is orientation and reorientation. Nigerian youths are ready. They are ready to follow whoever they are convinced about. That was exactly what played out in 2015. The choice between the first person and the second person, the choice between Satan and devil. The choice between Satan and devil. We have to provide them another alternative, different from what has been in practice from inception. We have to move against the establishment, and that is what we are trying to do now. Our main energy should be focused on orientation and reorientation. The Nigerian youths are ready, and we only need a push in the sense that provide a better option for them, a better candidate, and you will see them move. That's what we do.
I think we've been able to recognize the loophole. We've been able to recognize the space that needs to be filled. There's no major platform supporting it aggressively, saying yes, guys, we stand behind you, we're ready for you, we believe in you, we know you can actually make sure that yes, in my neighborhood, I have the right security in place, I have this in place. That Mama Alamala is able to see that yes, my children have best resources at school. And youth let us seek to be that platform between the community and the leaders and the prospective leaders, the aspiring contenders and everything. And that's just what we are providing, a platform for support, a platform of comfort and solidarity with ideas.
In concluding, I'd like you to just say what to the youth watching you right now. So what do you say to them? I mean, in terms of
don't give up, keep fighting, believe in yourself, trust, and try to believe in the next youth that is trying to work on something better. Let's support ourselves. That's just it.
It will be what the last word you say to the youth watching right now.
I will advise every youth out there to please not give up on Nigeria. If we have failed our generation, at least we have to consider the other generation coming after us. We have not failed actually, but at least we still have to push more. There is still time to correct many things.
Mr.
Okay, you have a voice as a youth, you have a voice. You have a choice. So if you know you have a choice, why don't you make your choices right? The time is now. It can never be too late. Let's start now, and the future is ours.
The future is already here. That's what the Youth Next organization is saying, and that's a wrap today. Thank you, and then I'll catch you again when you have another package for you. Take care.